JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, machete-armed man disarms gunmen in Portland. A Portland resident handed a gun over to the police after reportedly disarming two gunmen who attacked him on Tuesday, June 29. Reports are that the man and his relative had entered their yard about 8:40 p.m. when they were attacked by the gunmen. A tussle reportedly ensued between the man and one of the gunmen who was armed with the firearm. The police said the complainant used the machete to chop one of the gunmen before the hoodlums made a hasty escape, leaving the gun behind. The police were alerted, and the illegal gun, a .38 Titan Tiger revolver with 4.38 rounds of ammunition, was handed over to them. Both the complainant and his relative escaped unhurt. Screamers gang leader convicted, Sox gang boss charged. Police say Robert Graham, otherwise called Southie, the alleged leader of the Screamers gang, was convicted in the Home Circuit Court on Tuesday, June 29. Graham was charged with shooting with intent and illegal possession of firearm following an incident in Arnett Gardens, St. Andrew, on April 20, 2020. He is scheduled to return to court for sentencing on Thursday, July 29. Meanwhile, Mario Rose, otherwise called Lucky, of 4th Street, Kingston, was charged with the murder of LaFane Bent, who was shot and killed on 3rd Street in the parish on Tuesday, June 15. The police said Rose, who is believed to be the leader of the Sox gang, will appear before the gun court on Friday, July 2. Police named 5 persons of interest in relation to Sunday's shooting in St. James. The St. James police have confirmed that they have identified 5 persons of interest as investigations continue to the weekend shooting incident at Dam Road in the division. The police are now requesting that Dermaine Wood, otherwise called Dum, of Maypen, Clarendon, Jermaine Drummond of Springmount, St. James, Kenrick McIntosh of Springmount, St. James, Tavoy Burnett, otherwise called Chucho, of Coconut Walk, Springmount, St. James, and a man known only as Bad Driver of a flanker address in St. James, report to the lawmen. The police's interest in these men is in relation to the 7 people who were shot and injured in John's Hall, St. James, on Sunday. The men are asked to turn themselves into the St. James Police by 5 p.m. Wednesday, June 30, 2021. Meanwhile, the Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, says a conflict because of Sunday's shooting at Damed Square, which left 7 people injured. The individuals were shot in the vicinity of a car wash. Dr. Chang says 2 families from Dam Road and Coconut Grove are at the center of the tension. It's not a fight over turf or anything. Apparently, there are 2 strong individuals, or 2 strong families, who ended up in conflict, and it has been ongoing if you look at reports over the years. It's just that the particular event of the last week was eye-catching, because 7 people were shot. Unfortunately, no one died in the group, he revealed. Dr. Chang said the aggressors are allegedly involved in lottery scamming. Warmington wraps hypocrites in George Wright issue. Cabinet Minister Everald Warmington has taken a swipe at critics of embattled independent Member of Parliament George Wright, who is accused of beating a woman with a stool as well as his hands, following a viral video which could not clearly identify the man and woman in it. A lot of them making noise and them doing worse at them yard, beating them woman mercilessly. A lot of them have on spike heel shoes and making noise and getting beat in a yard, Warmington said. But he made it clear that he does not support the use of violence. I don't encourage such stuff, and I don't support any such stuff, whether George Wright did that or not. No man should beat a woman. Nobody should be involved in domestic abuse. If you can't live together, you should separate, Warmington urged. As far as I'm concerned, the police said there's no evidence, so I have to abide by that, he said, while lashing out at some parliamentarians who have opted to shun Wright. At the same time, Wright's promise to constituents that he will continue to provide them with effective representation has been bolstered with confirmation from Warmington, Minister with responsibility for works, that Westmoreland Central will not be short-changed of funds for road repairs. Mr. Wright is the elected Member of Parliament, and he has as much responsibility as anybody else. Any allocation will be distributed equally with him and the rest of us, Warmington said in an interview. Earlier this month, an embattled Wright sought to assure constituents that he will continue to effectively lobby on their behalf, despite no longer being a member of the ruling Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, on whose ticket he was voted into office. Wright has faced blistering criticism amid speculation that he's the man shown in a video beating a woman with his hands and a stool. He has neither admitted nor denied the allegation. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF, which had launched an investigation into the allegations, said its probe ended partly because of the poor quality of the video. Warmington said he has spoken with both Wright and Singh since the controversy erupted, though the images captured on the video were not the subject of the discussions. Chang blames gang violence for rise in murders. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang says that gang violence has led to an increase in murders this month, leading to an overall rise in homicides since the start of the year. Crime remains a national priority. In terms of the statistics, this month was not a good month. Last month was a good month, Chang revealed while addressing Tuesday's Crime Monitoring and Oversight Committee CMOC press briefing. According to the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Periodic Crime Statistics Review for June 26, there have been 113 murders in the last 3 weeks. In a press release from the opposition People's National Party on Tuesday, spokesman on national security, Senator Peter Bunting, had expressed alarm at what he said was a spike in murders. The opposition noted that murders have increased by 5.5% year-to-date when compared with 2020, with a number of police divisions having increases in the order of 50%. For Chang, he pointed out that the 5% increase was expected with the present gang warfare. The margin is still at 5%, and I think my expectation is that it's still operating in that bar. Once you're in that margin and two gangs start fighting, the 5% up is kind of what we'll expect will happen. You get on top of the gang and you get it down, he said. He added, over time, all the factors have to come together to get a sustainable reduction that keeps it on the downward trend. But with where we are now, and the level of recruits we have, and the quality of improvements we have made, we can hold. Chang pointed out that the 5% increase in murders was flat. But that 5% band is especially keeping it flat, and I think we can hold it for that for some time and in the inevitable future. As we keep our number of recruits up and complete our other investments, we'll be able to get a downward trend, he elaborated. We have done operational changes that have made some impact on murders, but with the impact of any gang, you'll get 5 or 6% upward very quickly, said Chang. Meanwhile, the minister revealed that more big gang leaders were incarcerated than ever before in the nation's history. In relation to the murders recorded this month, especially in Western Jamaica, Chang said several of the perpetrators are now in custody. Much of the homicides that were recently done this month that created a spike, the perpetrators not only are known, but most of them are in jail, especially those in Hanover and Westmoreland and heading into St. James, he stated. He explained, however, that the situation in the corporate area was more complex, as several gang leaders resided overseas, providing a different challenge. To resolve those issues, the National Security Minister pointed out that this will require a deepening of the island's relationship with its overseas partners to get some of those characters back in the island to place them before the courts. That process is ongoing, and it's a bit more tedious than the local situation, he shared. Despite that challenge in the corporate area, Chang noted that, with acute breakouts of crime in that space, the need for maybe more severe suppression measures, as with the state of emergency, could maybe bring us a sharper downturn in crime. The issue of the use of the state of public emergencies is not the subject of litigation. Turning to overall situation of crime in the island, Chang reassured the public that the government will go in a sustainable right direction. Jamaica records 10 more COVID deaths, 44 new cases. An additional 10 coronavirus-related fatalities were confirmed across Jamaica on Tuesday, pushing the island's virus death toll to 1,075. 4 of the latest victims were from St. Catherine, 2 males ages 73 and 57, and 2 females ages 96 and 46, while 3 were from Kingston and St. Andrew, including 2 females ages 53 and 63 and a 54-year-old male. The Ministry of Health and Wellness said 2 males from St. James, ages 76 and 53, along with an 85-year-old female from St. Mary, were also among the latest fatalities reported. 6 of the new deaths were previously reported under investigation. The ministry also reported another death under investigation in Tuesday's figures. Meanwhile, the island recorded 44 new cases of the virus, pushing the total number of confirmed cases on the island since the outbreak to 50,124. The new cases comprise 27 females and 17 males with ages ranging from 59 days to 84 years. The ministry said 12 of the cases were from St. Catherine, 11 from Kingston and St. Andrew, 5 from St. Elizabeth, St. James and St. Thomas, 3 from St. Anne and 1 each from Clarendon, Hanover and Trelawney. The ministry further reported 170 new recoveries, which pushed the total recoveries to 30,074. There are 18,617 active cases on the island. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.